So here we are at Summit Islands, one of CADEsport's courses. We're going to do a lap and a bit on this rather unique course. Not one for you if you've got vertigo. Rather high, and unlike this little stretch of bridge, there aren't barriers at the side most of the time. So the crashes can involve a bit of a free fall down, as you'll see now. There's nothing at the side of the road. I'm not sure the engineering structure would actually work in real life. You have to be very, very careful on this one because there are downhills, like you can see at the moment, which will take you fast with these little bends thrown in. Just looking at the speedometer there, absolutely just getting into the red, but safe so far. Just shaved that one. Being overtaken here, so I wonder if I'm going a little bit slower than I should be, and then we see that rider crash off. So in fact my caution was probably well chosen, although if you look at the speedometer, I'm so far away from the red that I should be going faster than this. So as I say, it's a tricky course, and it might take you a lap to kind of get used to it, because as I say, the downhills can make it so that you're going very, very fast into bends, and if you don't know the course, that's obviously, well, it can be catastrophic, shall we say. But as I say, it's an interesting course, quite testing. You see here the red on the speedometer at the bottom in the centre of the screen. I'm going far too slow, really, because there's a big chunk of white in the middle, so I'm not going to come off anytime soon. But the caution being the name of the game at this stage. The red getting a bit closer there. We can see as the camera goes through the wall, we can see the red sort of flickering in and out, and there's certainly plenty of white now because we're on a straight bit, but as I say, we'll soon be on that bend and going downwards. The profile is towards, if you look up in the top left hand corner, you see the word cycling. To the right of that is the profile, and you can see we are going downhill now, and just to the left of the speedometer you can see that it says -8 to -7%, so that's quite fast, and that's what happens if you hit a bend too fast because you've let the downhill take you down it. Quite a big drop, as you can see from the graphics. We go past a little fenced bit. I'm sure it'll let you crash over the side of that anyway. Still on -2%, you can see at the bottom here, but and the red just kicking in a little bit. The red will come in more on the corners. You can see we're going around this bend now, getting a bit tighter with my speeds, 31 kph. There was still a little bit of white in between the green and the red on the speedometer, which was the area that I could have filled up with a bit more speed. Another bend coming up, and look at that, going too fast into it, -6%, and didn't brake. You need to brake before the corner. This is a tricky course, it takes a bit of getting used to, and those downhills do influence your speed, obviously, and therefore you're going to have to take that into account when approaching corners, as we keep saying. Looking at the next one coming up, there's a little bit of yellow there. If you brake in the yellow, you will skid. If you are in the red, you're almost certainly going to crash. It will let you go a little bit into the red if it's momentary, but careful with the braking. Going through a little bit of a flood there. I have no idea whether that flood affects the performance of brakes, bikes, or anything else when you're going through it, but it's fairly flat, so you should fairly straight, so you shouldn't need to brake at all going through that. So we're 1.7 kilometers through lap 1 with 700 meters to go to the finish. Inevitably we've been going down, so you get the ups as well, and this will interrupt your race, shall we say, because you'll have to put some effort into the ups. Up plus, well, 5% there, you can see just to the left of the speedometer on the bottom of your screen, plus 6% now, so not the easiest of climbs to get up, but obviously you won't crash at these speeds, or very unlikely to. You can see the two roads there from the different parts of the course, and the roads in the background. This is quite an interesting course, as I say. It weaves about, and you can see the map up in the top left hand corner. It crosses itself quite a few times as these roads weave in and out of the rainforest or jungle or whatever it's supposed to be. Looking at that, I'm doing 23 kph now. I'm still going uphill, but that red on the speedometer was getting quite close to the needle there. The green bit is how fast I'm going, and So even when you're climbing, be careful. Still 7% upwards, 21 kph. That's down to the gradient, not me being overcautious on this occasion. But as I say, you look at that, 22 kph, and the red zone still quite close. And look, this red zone getting very close to my speed there. So even though we go to 9% here, even though the gradient is going to affect your climbing. It is. You need to be cautious. Just look how tight those bends are. Now we're just about to finish off lap 1. We'll go around a little bit more because we'll see it from slightly different angles in the early part of lap 2. So that's it. That's through the start line. We're now at lap 2. See, 18 kph, and the red's still getting close to my speed. So as I say, some of these bends you just cannot do them fast. And as I say, the trick is to make sure you don't get. So look, I'm in the red there. I'm going downhill and on a bend. A little bit of a skid there. Managed to stay up so far, but I'm still in the red, and I'm in the red again, and that's it. Pushed my luck a little bit too much there. Minus 12% gradient, obviously speeding me up far too much for the bend. And the bend looks relatively sweeping, but at those speeds it will take you off if you're going too fast. Back up to 40 kph as I'm going down, minus 13%, but here comes that red again, just touching the red on the speedometer, staying up though, it's straight enough at the moment. Got to be careful though, all way into the red. One little bend, didn't brake before it, and I'm off. Up and running again. We're 500 metres into lap 2. We're not going to do the whole of lap 2. This is just kind of seeing it at a slightly faster pace, having experimented in lap 1, and of course doing it from a slightly different camera angle. 30 kph now, and that red almost ever present. It's not ever present, but it's constantly a threat because it suddenly appears as these little bends and twists through the rainforest appear, and you see it there. Only 27 kph, but that red not far above where I am. And if I was touching the red before, all of a sudden you get that little chicane thing there, and it will get closer to me. So you probably need a little bit of spare white, or you need to know the course very, very well. And it'd be interesting to see what the other riders do in the race. Look at that, the red suddenly sneaking round and hitting where my speedometer is, just on the cusp of the red, and managed to stay up. So through that one quite nicely. 48 kph into the red. This is not going to go well, is it? And somebody else falls off, and there I go, inevitably too fast on those little bends. And lovely tropical scenery as I get overtaken by somebody. And again, look, 26 kph, and I'm almost into the red on that bend, and then it suddenly disappears. The temptation is to go fast again, but then look, then the bend twists the other way. This does sort of twist and turn, this course, and that's what you've got to look out for. 1.2 kilometres into lap 2, so we're about halfway through lap 2, and you can see the other bits of the course up there as we hit another bend. Not paying attention, I guess, or not braking early enough, and taking a little bit of a tumble into the sand on that one. So not much further to go, I think, really. You've seen most of the course now, and you get the idea that it does twist quite a lot, and that red zone suddenly shoots into your speedometer. I'm doing quite well here. I'm just on the red, just surviving around those bends. But as I say, it suddenly appears as we go through that flooding again. As I say, I don't think that affects your riding, but I could be wrong. And we're set for the climb again. That red's still there. Even though we're going upwards, the red is saying that I can't do those bends much more than about 20 kph. So as I say, that's about it. Have fun. It's a great course.